John 3:21. Qui autem facet veritatem, venit ad lucem, ut manifestentur eius opera quia in Deo sunt facta. But he who does the truth, who acts honestly, we might say in English, comes to the light in order that his deeds may be made public or made clear or exhibited, that they have been done in God. Here we're continuing with the second case hinted at in the previous verse. The first case was some men, some people, fear the light because they don't want the evil things that they do to be exposed. Here now we're getting a different group of people. Those who, however, or he who, since we've got a singular verb. And here we've got a note at the outset, autem actually does have its adversative sense. We've talked about how sometimes in the Vulgate, autem can actually simply mean et, and, but not here. It does here mean on the other hand, or on the contrary, or but. Here's another case and a different case. But he who does the truth, and this is a phrase worth dwelling on. What does it mean, he does the truth? We could say in Latin, vere agit, he who acts honestly or acts truly or with integrity, something like that. That's what's meant, but here, facet veritatem, the somewhat unusual phrase, is coming, as almost always in the Vulgate, in very close imitation of the literal sense of the Greek text. He who acts honestly, we might say, we've talked about venit ad lucem before, comes to the light in order that, and now we're getting a subjunctive clause, in fact, a subjunctive purpose clause here, in order that, and where's our subjunctive indicated? Just in this little e. What's our verb here? Manifesto, manifestare, that is a first conjugation verb. This is the we in we fear a liar. Remember, this is our mnemonic device for present subjunctives. Here's what we got, our e, manifestentur. We can see that this is third person plural because of the untur. We can see that it's passive. So we can say third person plural, subjunctive, passive, present tense. In order that his deeds, and who does his refer back to here? Well, those of the he who from the beginning of the sentence. In other words, this kind of person who facet veritatem, who does the truth, who acts honestly, his deeds, opera, may become known, may be publicly exhibited, manifestentur, that's what that means. Now, quia and the rest of this sentence here is sort of interesting. We've got to say, again, quia here is acting similarly to quod, and it's kind of tacking on an explanatory clause that we would all put together somewhat differently in English. But literally we can say, in order that his deeds or his works might be made known, namely that they have been done in God. And here let's just send a glance over at sunt facta. Facta, of course, this is our perfect passive participle from facio facere. What is it agreeing with? Well, it's agreeing with opera. See how both are neuter plural, neuter nominative plural here. In order that his deeds may be made manifest, may be made known, inasmuch as, or that, literally, they have been done or were done in God. And in Deo here is corresponding to the Greek en theo in the original. And that's a particular phrase, again, that maybe is a little bit unusual in Latin, but is showcasing the determination of our Latin translator here to follow that Greek text as closely as possible. So if we want to understand, well, what precisely does this phrase in Deo mean contextually, we've got to look back at the Greek text for inspiration. But in any case, ut manifestentur eius opera quia in Deo sunt facta, this is a construction just like that we find in the famous phrase from the King James Version of the Bible, see the lilies, how they grow. Right? This isn't typically how we would say things in modern English. We would say, see how the lilies grow. right? And similarly, this pair of clauses here, we would translate into English as, but he who does truth comes to the light in order that it may be manifest, or it may be made known that his deeds have been done in God. That's how we would put all this together in English. But I want you to see how the Latin works, that you can, in the Vulgate at least, sort of tack on this explanatory clause in order that his deeds may be made known. Part of what we need to know about his deeds is that they have been done in God, in other words.